Beyond the Beltway, the best Twin Cities suburbs outside of the 494-694 corridor. Okay, real talk. If you're still trying to find your dream home inside the 494-694 loop, you're fighting over leftovers, paying too much, and probably losing to someone with a cash offer and no contingencies, at least some of the time. But here's the thing nobody's telling you. Some of the best places to live in the entire Twin Cities metro are sitting just outside that beltway. We're talking about great schools, new construction, more land for your money, lakes, trails, and yeah, you actually can afford them. So today we're going beyond the beltway, north, east, south, and west. I'm breaking down the best suburbs in each quadrant, giving you real home prices, real commute times, and the hidden gems that locals don't want you to know about. So let's go. Before we dive in, let me set the stage. The 494-694 Beltway essentially forms a ring around the Twin Cities, Minneapolis and St. Paul. Everything we're going to talk about today is outside of that ring, what real estate agents call outer ring suburbs. So the Twin Cities metro median sales price hit $390,000 in 2025, with the average sales price over $466,000, the highest in 25 years. Inventory is at about a 2.5-month supply. It's still a seller's market. So if you're buying, you need every edge you can get. And one of the biggest edges, going where other buyers aren't looking at least as much, right? All right, so let's start up north. So the North Quadrant. The north side of the metro, we're talking about communities like Blaine, Andover, Ramsey, Elk River, Rogers, and Anoka, has quietly become one of the most exciting growth corridors in the entire state of Minnesota. Blaine is the last big suburban city before you hit true outer ring. It's right on the edge of the Beltway, but its northern neighbors push comfortably beyond 694. What you get in Blaine is incredible bang for your buck. You've got the National Sports Center, the largest amateur sports complex actually in the entire world, which means your kids, if you have them, or kids in general, will potentially have access to facilities that most cities can only dream about. The schools in the Anoka-Hennepin district, which covers much of Blaine, are highly rated and well-resourced. The new interchange at Dayton Parkway that opened in 2021 widened I-94 and gave Rogers residents another off-ramp. That's not a small thing when you're talking about daily commutes. And here's the Rogers secret weapon. Cabela's, a 185,000 square foot outdoor gear store. If you're into hunting, fishing, hiking, that's basically a recreational destination and a landmark that draws people from all across the region. You've got Cub Foods, a Target, gyms, medical clinics, and all the basics that you really need, plus some more. The North Star commuter rail has a station in nearby Elk River, which means some residents have transit options into downtown Minneapolis. Elk River sits on the Mississippi River. There is something special about having a river access and bluff-top views in a suburb. The East Metro is one that catches people by surprise. You're saying eastern suburbs, and people think, I don't know, that kind of is generic. But go out there and you'll discover some of the most genuinely beautiful communities in the state. We're talking Woodbury, White Bear Lake, Stillwater, Cottage Grove, and Lake Elmo. So Woodbury, probably one of the most up-and-coming suburbs in the East Metro. Woodbury is the East Metro powerhouse. It consistently ranks among the best places to live in Minnesota. It has highly regarded schools in the South Washington County District, massive retail and dining scene, and an almost ridiculous number of parks and trails. The median home price as of November 2025 was $410,000. The South Washington County School District, Independent School District 833, is one of the most sought after in the metro. East Ridge High School has a reputation that draws families specifically here. People literally move to Woodbury for the schools. Here's the catch. Everyone knows Woodbury is great, so demand is high, competition is real, and prices reflect that. A median $410,000 price point, but you're getting high quality and you're also paying for the brand name. So White Bear Lake, this one is one of my absolute favorites. And I genuinely do not understand why more people aren't talking about it. Picture this, a historic downtown with real character, cute coffee shops, boutiques, restaurants on the shore of a gorgeous lake, year-round recreation, water ski shows in the summer, polar plunges in the winter, art fairs, farmers markets, a genuine sense of community that you just don't find in most cookie-cutter suburbs, right? Median home prices in 2025 were $435,000 to $457,000. Average sales price was $616,000. That also includes, however, lakefront estates. Commute to downtown St. Paul is 20 to 30 minutes via I-694, and commute to downtown Minneapolis is between 35 to 45 minutes. White Bear Lake has 24 public parks, and the lake itself gives you boating, fishing, kayaking, swimming, and in the winter, ice fishing, hockey, and yes, people golfing even on frozen lakes sometimes. So Stillwater is really the hidden crown jewel of the east side. So Stillwater is the oldest city actually in all of Minnesota. It sits on a bluff above the St. Croix River, which is literally a national scenic riverway. And it has this historic brick main street line with wine bars, bookshops, antique stores, and restaurants that punch way above its weight for a town this size. So median home prices in 2025 were $420,000 to $500,000 for entry level, and lakefront and riverfront go significantly higher. So Cottage Grove, here's the value play on the east side. Cottage Grove is the move for someone who wants East Metro and specifically that South Washington County School District without paying those Woodbury prices. So the median home price as of October 2025 was $380,000. New construction starting price point was in the 400s with a commute to downtown St. Paul, 25 to 35 minutes, and commute to downtown Minneapolis, depending on where you're going, is between 35 and 50 minutes. New construction is booming in Cottage Grove. Multiple major builders are actively developing here. You can get a brand new home with modern finishes, energy efficient, and a warranty for prices that you would get a 40-year-old fixer-upper closer in. The South Metro. If the North Metro is underrated and the East Metro is charming, the South is just the engine. It's where families come. This is where the growth is happening. And this is where I can think some of the strongest value plays in the entire metro are right now at this very moment. We've got Lakeville, Prior Lake, Shakopee, Rosemount, and Farmington. Really, it's the crown jewel of the South. Lakeville is consistently ranked one of the best cities in Minnesota every single year. The median price of July of 2025 is $514,000. The average sales price is $533,000. So Prior Lake, the name says it all. If you want lake life, actual lake life, not a pond in a development lake life, Prior Lake delivers. Has a median price in 2025 of $526,000 to $532,000. Shakopee surprises people. It's got a reputation as the place with Valley Fair. And yes, Valley Fair is great. But Shakopee has evolved into something much more interesting than that. Median home prices in 2025 were $405,000 to $408,000. Commute to downtown Minneapolis was 35 to 50 minutes via Highway 169. At around $405,000, Shakopee is still one of the better value propositions in the southern kind of quarter that we're talking about. You've got Canterbury Park for horse racing, Valley Fair for the thrill seekers that you might be with roller coasters and so forth. And then you have Mystic Lake area nearby. Farmington, Rosemount. I'm going to go on the record. Farmington and Rosemount are two of the most underrated suburbs in the entire Twin Cities. And you heard it here first, right? So Farmington's median home price in 2025 is around $403,000. Rosemount's median home price is around $436,000. So Farmington is the furthest south and therefore the most affordable of the entire corridor. It grew from a small agricultural community to a full suburban community over the last 20 years, and it still has that slightly small town character that some people absolutely love. Let's talk about the West Quadrant. Last, but certainly not least, the West Metro. This is the one that generates the most feelings from people. People who live here are almost offensively passionate about the West Side. And once you understand why, you will kind of get it. So the West Corridor, we're talking about communities like St. Michael, Albertville, Delano, Waconia, Victoria, and Hanover. So St. Michael and Albertville are practically twins, right next to each other on I-94, sharing the school district and both experiencing some of the fastest growth actually in the entire metro. St. Michael's median home price in 2025 around $430,000 to $470,000, and Albertville's median home price is around $390,000 to $440,000. Families choose this school district for a reason. Albertville has the premium outlets, and this is not a small shopping center. It's a legitimate destination retail experience that people drive to from across the region, which means it's also great for a tax-based driver. St. Michael has Fox Hollow Golf Club, the Ellingson Car Museum, which is genuinely one of the coolest things in the western suburbs, and some beautiful new master plan neighborhoods with scenic wetland views. Who doesn't want that, right? Waconia might be the most controversial pick because it's genuinely further out. Median home price in 2025 is between $390,000 and $440,000, and commute to Minneapolis 45 to 55 minutes via Highway 5 and 212. Waconia sits on Lake Waconia, a 3,200-acre lake that's absolutely gorgeous. The city has a charming downtown, a farmer's market, Schramm Vineyards, and Sovereign Estate Winery are right there. You can go wine tasting 10 minutes from your house. Waconia is almost uniquely positioned. It punches so far above its suburban tier that it borders on unfair. Delano and Hanover are for buyers who have looked everywhere at everything we've discussed and say, I want to go even further. I want space. I want quiet. I want a river in my backyard and stars I can actually see at night. Delano's median home price in 2025 is between $380,000 and $430,000, and commute to Minneapolis is 40 to 55 minutes via Highway 12. Delano sits on the Crow River and has a genuinely sweet small town downtown. Hanover is even more rural. New construction communities here give you acreage and nature that you simply cannot find closer in at the same price. If you work remotely full-time and want a property that feels like a retreat rather than like a suburb, and you can get that for a price that leaves plenty of room in the budget for a workshop, the boat, or the home office setup you've always wanted, Delano and Hanover are worth the 45-minute drive in whenever you need to go to downtown. So Victoria, the hidden gem, the more premium price point in this entire quadrant. Victoria is interesting because it sits near Lake Minnetonka, some of the most desirable real estate in the entire metro. But it's just far enough outside that price bubble to offer a more attainable entry point. Median home prices in 2025 were between $500,000 and $580,000, and commute to Minneapolis was between 30 to 45 minutes via Highway 5 and 212 or 494. Victoria has charm, boutique feel, great trails, it's a tight-knit community, and for the proximity to Minnetonka Lakes without the Lake Minnetonka price point. It's a good option for someone who wants that Western Lakes premium lifestyle without fully commuting to that Wayzata price level. So in summary on the Western Quadrant, it's best for remote workers, outdoor enthusiasts, lifestyle seekers, and people that want some space. In general, prices range from that 380 to 580,000 and go significantly up from there. You can buy stuff that's in the millions. And the commutes range from 35 to 55 minutes. The big reveal, finally at last, the Quadrant rankings. All right, you've watched this whole thing. I respect you for that. And I promised you a ranking, and here it is. My personal ranking of the 4 quadrants for 2025 buyers and why. Number 4, the North Quadrant. North comes in 4th, not because it's bad, but because the commute variability is the highest. And some corridors like Elk River can be genuinely challenging on peak days. That said, the new construction value and outdoor recreation, frankly, it's unmatched. Number 3 would probably be the West Quadrant, in my opinion. The West is 3rd. It has incredible lifestyle and some of the most beautiful scenery in the entire Twin Cities. But the commute routes on Highway 12 and 212, they can be painful. And some of the best communities push further out than most people are comfortable committing to. Number 2, the South Quadrant. South comes in 2nd. Lakeville alone would almost elevate this to my number 1. With all the lakes within the city limits, incredible schools, consistent 35W commute, the South Corridor has the density of amenities, the school quality, and the lake access combined with what almost all buyers want. So number 1, we're going to call it the East Quadrant. It was really close to the South Quadrant. The East is number 1. Here's why. You have Woodbury's school reputation, White Bear Lake's incredible lifestyle, Stillwater's unmatched character and beauty, and Cottage Grove's value play, and access to both Minneapolis and St. Paul via 2 separate corridors. The East Metro wins just by a little bit. But honestly, the real answer is the best quadrant is whichever one aligns with your commute, your lifestyle, your budget. So I hope this video gave you a genuine map, not just of the geography, but of the trade-offs. If you found this video useful, smash that subscribe button. I'm going to be doing deep dives into specific cities in each of these quadrants. Drop in the comments which quadrant you're in or which one you're considering. I read every comment, believe it or not. And if you're actually in the market for real estate right now or just have a question, hit us up in this form down below and we can answer any of the questions that you have concerning real estate. Additionally, right here is a link to our video driving tour of Lakeville, and I can't wait to show you that city. So we'll see you on the next video and at the next house.